Awesome to be here with all of you in Singapore. Look, they're flashing up all kinds of different pictures of me. It is intimidating. So I'm going to talk about why the world needs a bunch more Singapores. You guys are here. You see how amazing it is. We're building a global network of startup cities, and starting with this reasoning, right? So the world is kind of janky in two main ways. The West is kind of falling apart, right? Bad policy decisions, shifting values is leading to tent cities in places like San Francisco, where I'm from. That's in San Francisco on the left. On the right is another tent city outside Lagos, Nigeria, right? So all the stats on the left you can see, you know, everybody knows this stuff: homelessness, fentanyl addiction, overdose, obesity, all these problems. And on the right, on the left is Africa. So in Africa, 70% of the population lives in these kind of informal settlements. Unemployment rates are really high, and 80% of the population works in the extra-legal economy. Because there's really bad urban planning, there's really bad administration, corruption, and so on. So it's not really coming together the way we'd like. Singapore and UAE are great examples of rapidly growing, autonomous, effectively city-states. Especially Singapore and Dubai are really the places we'd like to look at as case studies that all of us would like to try to build. We're building what I call, think of as networked charter cities. The network state concept everyone's been hearing about all day. Charter cities, that's Prospera is an example of that. So you basically have a platform of digital fabric for running society, like digital governance ideas, and then you have the actual physical land and all of the legal work that you need to do in order to turn that land into effectively an autonomous city. So we want to build a $100 billion GDP network of city-states. That's our near-term goal. We'd like to generate $100 billion in GDP and then 10 years from now. So how are we going to get there? Well, Africa is growing super fast. The urbanization of Africa is going to result in about 1 billion new people living in African cities over the next 30 years. Actually, I'll talk about this in a moment, but 6 of the biggest 20 cities in the world are going to be in Africa. If we can get about 1% of the urbanizing population in Africa to live in cities that we build, that on basically middle-level kind of GDP per capita numbers will get you to about $100 billion in GDP. We also want to move people and businesses to these jurisdictions. So of the 500 million or so businesses in the world, about 35 of those are in or tangent to highly regulated industries. These are businesses which would be open to moving to a new jurisdiction if you could give them a 10x better and more streamlined experience in a new jurisdiction. Over here you see the reasons why people move. They move basically for jobs, for family, for education, and for better quality of life. So any of you thinking about cities, those are the reasons people actually move. I think that these two trends, AI and crypto, are happening so quickly that it's going to really accelerate this change where people move from big centralized nation states to more kind of, let's say, startup cities, right? It's taking some time, but between when OpenAI launched and ChatGPT launched, which is this killer app, now everything's taking off. Same thing is going to happen in crypto as fast, cheap payments take off with Lightning and Solana and everything. We're building a global network of these things, and starting in Portuguese-speaking world. You can see here, I only have a minute, so I'm going to go. This is me. I'm an AI guy for quite some time. I've been helping to build Pronomos, which Patrick's going to talk about in a minute, which is invested in a bunch of these cities. And we've gotten Rendeavor involved. If you guys haven't seen Rendeavor, everybody's got to study them. They're like the granddaddy of this, that have built 8 cities in 5 different African countries over the past 15 years. I'll skip that since I'm behind. And we're very focused on a computational government, building a platform for that and building a computational economy, like a tech economy. As you can see, like, you can't build a tech economy without tech universities. Tech university cities are what drive all the venture capital investment in startups. We have a vision for building like a AI-first computational university ecosystem here. We have a clear playbook, zone law, joint ventures with the government. We get about 100 square kilometers of land. You can see examples of our first 3 countries here where we have land already earmarked and plans to double each country's GDP with a set of specific industries. So that's it. So I know it's a lot, there's a lot more about us in this post that we're linking to here with the QR code. So if anyone's interested in building in startup cities that require high autonomy, you need to do something in financial services, biotech, or whatever, we'd love to hear from you because we're building a jurisdiction where you'll be able to really do a lot of interesting new things that you might not be able to do elsewhere. So thank you very much.